Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC joining in for another React video, this time for MLP Season 9, Episode 6, I think. Joining me again is Carlos.
Hello there, Gunmill Gator here, going through the conflicts of creating a new character outside of my stretches of my imagination, and I still end up with a Scaly. How much I hate my programming to be suddenly interested in all things Scaly, even though I try to get myself away from it with a demon.
So wait,
cannot deny who you are.
So wait, you have a new,
Oh,
new character design, like OC or...
for like a, I was for like Dungeons and Dragons for like a one shot that might become like a multi-parter. I was trying to go with like a demon girl after like it was going to be more god focused. Then I found out about Bell, and that immediately reminded me about Devil Survivor Overclocked, and I was like, dang it! Even though he's a draconic looking demon, it's like I really do like Devil Survivor Overclock story, especially when it came to like how effectively they were able to use like one of the oldest stories of Christianity and made me like a fan of it. Like, so yeah, I went with Belle, and I now have a demonic girl by the name of Jezebel, which is also a reference to Devil Survivor. So I'm fine-tuning the final works on this thing, and it's going to be a sorcerer of draconic bloodline because Belle is actually connected with Tiamat. So yeah, a lot more evil.
The Queen of all Dragons.
Interesting.
Yes.
Tiamat.
Yeah. Tiamat.
Ask me how I know that name.
How do you know that name, second?
Because of a random after-school scholastic book that I read in like the 3rd grade.
I missed.
Ask me how I know that name. Ask me how I know Tiamat.
How?
Oh, do tell.
Final Fantasy summon.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, of course,
the same with me.
They're the sibling to Bahamut.
Yep.
Yeah, Bahamut is also a summon.
Yes, he is.
No, Bahamut's more famous.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you would know about.
Yes,
Bahamut.
he is.
Bahamut,
The
Bahamut is awesome.
the one thing I like I found about Kingdom Hearts 3, which I found out is like, yeah, apparently Donald Duck knows like Bahamut's like spells and is actually stronger.
Yes, yes.
Something that's a really awesome summon in Final Fantasy is Odin, but that's just because I'm like Norse mythology.
I mean, Donald Duck knowing Zeta Flare, it's just like the WTF moment of the century for
Pretty
Final
much.
Fantasy.
Oh, wait a minute. Weren't we introducing ourselves before we got on this?
Yes.
Yep.
Who's
Baylor
next?
is
Yeah,
up
sure.
next.
So then.
Sure.
Dale.
Hello,
Dave.
everybody. I'm partially sleeping, but I'm still here, so that's good.
She's a survivor, she gonna make it. She's a survivor, keep on surviving.
What?
I'm going to smack you with a wet newspaper if you continue like dragging this on with the introduction.
I'll go ahead and jump in. Hello, everybody. I'm Jennifer. I'm Jen. Whatever. 8675309 Jenny. I don't care. Long day. Hi, I'm Jen. Ready to watch the episode.
All right.
Next.
Up.
Yeah.
Second.
My name is what? My name is what? Oh yeah, second opinion. Second opinion here. And the critic first and the fan second. My Little Pony. And so it goes.
Yes, so it goes.
I've heard there is a certain. I've heard there is a certain kind of character returning to this.
Yeah.
So,
Yay!
there's a certain kind of character returning to this.
And
That's
I'm
why
kind
we're
of vaguely
waiting
nervous
for
that
the-
they're gonna do a caricature job on him, like, oh yeah, what people liked about him was that he complained about everything and that he was just never, ever, ever satisfied, right?
That's the one thing I'm like, oh no, they're gonna try and make me like him.
But I guess
Maybe
that's sad.
that.
Before
We're both hoping for something in between.
But there's also I read a little bit of an article about what this episode is supposed to be. Is what it's not a spoiler, but what an intention of the character who's coming back is. And I'm thinking like, man, they're gonna try and make me like him. All right, we'll see what happens.
All right, but I guess with that said, is everyone ready?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And have the episode up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Carlos?
Gator, are you ready?
Gator. He's muted again.
Gator.
Gator!
I know to wait at least so I get a confirmation from him.
He's a shy gator.
He's a shy little
Yeah.
gator. He's only waiting for the never mind. He's waiting for the crocodile rock. That's what it is.
Wait, crocodile rock? What is this?
Never mind. Never mind.
Are you ready, Carlos?
That was perfect
Ready.
timing, Carlos.
All right.
You like the second started singing
All right.
Crocodile Rock, and then you come back in. I'm like, wait a minute, that won't work. It's a gator. There's a difference.
All right,
But
I guess
anyway,
that's
we're ready.
All right, is everyone ready? All right, go ahead and
Yes.
press play in 3, 2, 1,
One.
play.
Wait.
Let's do
Yay.
this.
Okay.
Season.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Continuing from a season 6
Pinky.
episode. Oh my god, this is
Water
Poison Akora as an
Snails.
here we go, snails.
Welcome back,
Yay.
snails.
Alright, let's
well.
do this.
Mm.
Actual continuity.
Bon-bon.
Oh, that's cute. Bonbon. Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Fleur de lis.
Oh, Florida. It's a long time no see.
Oh my god.
Love this
Oh,
old timey
that's
announcement.
When this announcer. Yes.
Why does snails always have that face like John Belushi makes in Animal
my
House?
Oh, they're watching it in a
Snails
theater.
is just at peace.
Oh, what's going on?
Okay, I think Snails is being a bit flenderized here. If I had to
Probably.
guess.
Probably.
But
Which
he's just
Didn't,
the background character.
which isn't going to take much because he was already supposed to be sort of a caricature in the first place. But it's like if they try to one-up themselves on his cluelessness or his like.
Maybe he's really a genius, and we're not, and we're only supposed to think he's stupid.
What, the
Maybe
gummy
he's
effect?
just very Tao of poo.
Oh boy, maybe.
Man, this episode is going to be hard.
Friends.
Yay!
I'm already liking the setup.
Yeah, it's a nice building.
Common ground. Josh
Almost
Taylor.
looks like
Oh my god, Snips is here to support
oh,
his
so
best friend.
cute. But the stadium almost looks like the stadium we were in and watching
Aww.
football.
Snails.
Second.
Oh my
No!
god.
Snips, are you gonna mess this up for him?
Don't do
Ah.
the money grabbing Mr. Krabs of your friend here.
Mm.
Snips, we don't want any negative characters.
Snips, I disappoint.
Nah.
Snips, I'm disappointed in you. Flim and Flam I would have expected this from Flim and Flam, but not you, Snips.
Mm-mm.
Well, at least they're
Yeah.
selling an actual valid product without any gimmicks.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Still.
true.
That's the only thing like with Flim and Flame. Like they all sometimes come very close, but they always go over the edge. Like they were caught. Like with the original Apple plan.
If I run, yeah.
Like their super
Oh,
squeezing
this
thing
is
actually was
nice.
not a bad thing until they started trying to
Yeah.
climb out of the house.
Yeah.
Flim, the apple's out of their property almost.
Wow, that's a lot of money for a post or
Or we're like,
Wow.
where's the pony? It's like, snails, sign my flank.
well, there was one that was signing its upper torso,
Aw.
but
Yeah, but they probably thought that was too risque then.
maybe.
I wonder if because they couldn't get her voice actress in.
So wait, did Twilight who told her to go to the museum thing?
Applejack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a
But
Dylan dude?
the door's closed.
You!
Yeah.
You!
The power
Oh,
couple
here we go.
rise once again.
He looks nice though.
You! You!
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what's he really after?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem that happy to see him.
She's confused.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be like a poser?
Oh. No. Oh, that's so cute.
Uh-oh.
Well, there goes the
That's so
ship there.
cute.
There goes that.
Oh, they're having a daughter. That's cute.
Well, she's not calling him dad. Okay, I think. Are we doing a stepdad story?
Yeah, it looks like so.
I don't think. I don't know, but her cutie mark looks like his.
Okay, yeah. If I had to guess, I think Quibble's trying to be a fan of Buckball so that she'll like him, this kid.
Aww.
Hmm.
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 She's like, oh, okay. She's like, I can't wait.
Oh, wow, yeah. Can't wait to be away from you. What's up?
Wait. The pony's name is Clear Sky? As in, like,
Mhm.
what fanfiction used for alternate Celestia if she was, like, a Pegasus?
Okay.
It's a basket.
I mean, like,
come on.
we're talking about the culture
Get it
shock of
together.
sports fan with nerds.
Yeah,
trying to, like,
but I
connect
think
for,
that
like, a
I think
relationship.
he's just freaking out.
You can. This is the one thing you don't know about bucking. ER pony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Come on, Quibble, get it together, man. You're falling apart.
Aww.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jen, you are laying down the fire.
Well, like he deserves it, kinda.
Yeah. Is this another one where we have to play up how bad he is?
Probably. You're now going to try to make him likable.
No. No.
Of course.
Aw.
They're gonna come out of your shell.
Okay, I just hope they don't keep going with gags like this.
Mm.
How many rainbow ponies are there?
Aw.
That is actually a very good question.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Ah.
Wing, face wing.
Mhm.
Why don't you talk about how he's met Daring Do? That's got to buy a little cred.
Yeah. What is a book?
She's not impressed. Not impressed.
Yeah, he would like that.
Oh, they're going this angle.
Yeah. He likes that part of it and she doesn't.
No, I think they're going with the Moneyball plot for this too.
Yeah.
As I recall, this is actually apparently
crap.
supposed to be his. This is actually supposed to be his daughter and is
Yep.
the one
Yeah,
guy's
it's
daughter.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
wife.
It's Patton Oswald, and apparently read an article that his daughter is going to be playing a voice. I just don't know which one, but
wow.
I'm willing to bet it's the daughter pony. It's
Yeah, I think
Well, it better be. If it's the other one, then that's creepy.
that would be creepy.
that would be impressive that she could do an adult voice.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what kind of? Okay.
Yes, it is. We're
Yeah,
going with
pretty
the. Wow, Rainbow needs to learn the lesson here that she's not helpful at all, and she's making everything worse.
I think like I have to wait and see because I think.
Oh boy.
That was a role playing.
Expected from a critic pony.
Yeah.
Man, this is gonna be nice. Like, seeing,
Yeah,
like a
you
Quibble
can't
learn the way
train him in that short of amount of time, can you?
No.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, this really like just seeing him now, and also like in the scene, you can see how the animation's got a lot better.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember like back when he was first introduced, the animation was more like it's more.
Mm.
It's a different style. I mean, I don't know.
It's different. Like it's just, this, I don't know. I think it's because it's so fluid. There's so much fluidity.
Oh wow, Quibble.
There's so much action in this episode that really shows. Is what I think we're trying to say.
I love you enough to do that sports.
I feel for.
Oh my god!
Oh,
you
he's
can't tell me you can't beat a little fool.
Oh my god! Really?
You're getting sponsorship deals. Come on, Snips.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be super slow.
Mm.
Speed. It's the turbo joke.
Yeah,
it's the
he's
joke from
stuck
Turbo.
in place. That's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I never think this kind of plot is funny. That like.
What?
Wow.
Look at all the.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. He looked like he was like really running fast, and he just got that far away. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the gag here. It's like, oh, wow, he's so bad. How can you even say he's... What?
That's
Why
even
are you even
that
trying
but even
like
that
this?
one's pushing it. Even that one's pushing it, though.
They're going to push it all the way, Jen. Just to wait and see.
I mean, Quibble, he did fine in the adventure with Daring Do before. I mean,
why
he wasn't...
don't you do something with your math, though?
Yeah,
that's
well,
what they're
going to
go with
to
it.
be, yeah. I mean, he wasn't the brawn, but I mean, he wasn't like a physical load or something like that.
No.
But he can use his like math stuff to impress her.
Exaggeration for a kid's show.
Come on! You'll figure it out, Quibble.
I love Quibble's expressions here. It's like nervous, but try to be a little optimistic. Stop it with the
bugging and tail stuff.
Oh my god!
Oh, seriously, snails.
The Tao of Snails.
Well, he's doing good.
She's like, you.
You. I am ashamed to be associated with you in public. But it's for a little girl. It's for a little girl, right?
That was quick.
Bribery. Always the key ingredient.
It always works with it.
I mean, when you deal with kids, that's one of the surefire ways of like, getting to their hearts.
I know her cue mark is actually pretty neat. The little fillies, like it's like a Super Saiyan like horse hoof going like sort of thing.
Oh my god!
Yep. Don't remind me about that experience.
She's
like, what?
Some might say we became
She
more
ain't
than
impressed.
friends, and some say we're more
so cute.
acquaintances. I'll let you be the judge of that.
She ain't impressed, no matter what.
Rainbow, what did you do?
Oh no, you're playing against them, right?
Then you should be near Pinkie Pie.
Hey, books are awesome.
There you go.
What?
And Ponyville's gonna
Yeah,
let
see
them
what I
win, I
said?
assume.
Actually, no, I could see him
No.
winning with the math
They're gonna do
eventually.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what,
Keyword
Snails is good at this
maybe.
too?
Sip. No, you mean Sips. Sips.
Snips, rather, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, she's good. No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Got a point there.
Mhm.
They can only do so much.
No. Yeah, they can only do so much. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Compared to cartoon
You'll
laws of
see.
physics. Can we see a
Mhm.
spectacular fail, or can we see some lame stuff happen in front of the screen?
I would like to see him like use
The
his
every
math
pony.
to get out of this. That'd be funny.
Go for it. Oh, Pinkie!
What's she
Oh,
doing?
Oh my God.
Pinkie.
Oh my God.
What?
Wow! Wow!
Really?
Okay, but he kicked it into Snail's bucket. Didn't he score on himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinky.
Oh no.
He didn't even
Mhm.
bounce in the first place. It's like you were expecting. Yes!
Yay.
Oh my God, that's a good way.
What?
Oh,
Fumble!
oh. That was like
No,
Fluttershy levels
Oh, boy.
of like cringe.
Uh,
You don't impress me.
Mm.
I like how she just butted in.
I wonder what is going to happen.
I wonder.
Let's go for clown. Oh,
He's going to bug it in the wrong one again. Yeah.
But
yes!
Yep.
No!
In the van. Yeah, what I said.
oh boy, wind sprint does not approve. Wind sprint
No.
does not approve.
Oh my God! He's roller sharking. He's roller sharking.
What?
He's roller sharking. This is literally what D&D players do all the time in order to get advantages over vague rules in order to get what their way.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's so dramatic. He tried to be nice to her, and he's...
wow.
Mm.
Yeah, boy.
Oh God.
Wow. No.
Oh boy. Regularly puking towel now. Quibble.
But,
Oh boy.
This is the curse of Equestria. Super specialized in your talents,
Mm.
inefficient at everything else. Oh. So who? Oh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm. It's cute. Mm-hmm. Mm. Aw. Cute. So cute. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Nice. Oh. No, I don't think that was
I
what
wanted
she
to
meant,
rethink
though.
my cousin who's moving to.
Mm-hmm. Women are smarter than we would give them credit for, Quibble. Oh.
Aw.
Oh my god, statistics.
Mm.
Story.
Oh.
You
Cute.
just need to be yourself in a different area.
How about that?
Quibble got the happy
Yay,
ending.
we're done. Yay.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that? How about that? How about that?
What's up with that? What's up with that?
What's up?
What's up?
Yep, there it is.
Oh, this is
Yep, there
written by
it is.
Josh Haber.
Alice Oswald. Alice Oswald as Winsford. That's his daughter. Yep.
No.
Written by Josh
That's-
Haber.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thoughts about this, and then I gotta pop off.
Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe I'm gonna say this. Quibble was likable. I know. I know. Believe me. Believe me. I'm choking on it. Believe me, I am. I cannot believe this. This was impossible, but yet it was done. They made Quibble likable.
Yay.
And not only they did that, but they also made him even more identifiable than the first round. Than the first round. He's identifiable as a nerd, and now identifiable as a step parent.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise for me is that they didn't say why. I think it was implied he died, but might have been divorced. But yeah, like this is like they tackled the foster father figure thing, which is like sort of a rather mature subject for
Very impressive. And they handled, and honestly, I gotta give them credit. They handled it very well. I mean, granted, realism be damned and everything. It takes a lot more to a step parent and such. But they handled it, but they handled that in this context very well. And really, you know what? Who better than Quibble to do it for? So congratulations, MLP. I'm taking Quibble out of the glue factory.
Yeah.
I hate you. How dare you? Now Cozy Glow is just going to be inhabiting the glue factory.
All by herself.
All by herself.
Unless Brodar can bail her out.
Well,
yeah,
I don't
please.
know.
Have fun. Have fun with that.
Can you make glue out dragons? Because we could always go grab Garble.
Nah, leave Garble
Oh, yeah,
alone.
that's true.
Nah, leave Garble alone. It ain't
It's fun to watch him fall on his face.
Yeah, and also you probably can't make a product. You can't make a profit off dragon glue, can you?
Well, just the name is gonna catch some attention, probably.
Yeah, somewhere. But
Yeah,
either
that
way,
sounds
I got to finish this
awesome.
up and then I got to pop off. But I cannot believe it. MLP, you made Quibble likable and even more identifiable in this round than the second. Kudos to you, and also kudos to Patton Oswalt and his daughter. Congratulations, both you guys did a wonderful job. And Quibble is now free of the glue factory. And this was handled the step parent thing very, very well too. So, and that is my 2 cents. Now I'm gonna go off and cry in a corner and rethink my life.
Aww.
All right.
As you do.
Yeah, I gotta rethink my life and rethink and try and get some dignity back. But either way, gotta go, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
See you
Good
later.
night.
Right. Yeah.
Well.
What's next?
You want to give
should
your
we get
quick
the less
thought?
positive opinions over with now, or should we,
Like,
still warm up
yeah,
to it?
yeah.
Or
All right,
Get
I'll
a
give
negative one, and then I'll go.
All right.
okay,
So second you go, and then I'll go.
Can I offer this one? Can I
Or the
offer?
burn.
Can I just offer one quick nitpick before you start?
Sure.
I appreciate they brought in Oswald's family for this, but his daughter really couldn't voice act too well.
I mean, depends on what you mean. I think it seemed like she just kind of talked like she would talk, and I don't necessarily hate that effect because that's what little kids do. What I hate is little kids who can't act, and who also aren't very good talkers trying to act. What's that? The Christmas tree. They fell off the cliff, Mommy. She's gone. She's gone. I don't know. I think, in short, I think this could have been a lot worse on that front.
Yeah, I agree.
I kept in mind. The episode itself, though. Well, okay, sure. Well, I mean, I know that the show's trying to score points in the willingness to take on mature subjects category, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was an uneasy mix of hijinks and pathos, the hijinks. I mean, thankfully it didn't try to build a whole episode around the notion that they were going to kill it on the hijinks front because, he's that bad at sports. No, that bad at sports. That bad at sports. I mean, am I right? There was some of that, but I mean, it was quick enough and ergo relatively painless. But I mean, yeah, that, and then they save the I'm not going to forget about Dad until the one of the very last scenes, third or fourth from the end there, and it goes by pretty darn quick. And I mean, I don't know, it's like a cocktail that hasn't been properly mixed, I guess. But I mean, it's also not one where it's such a bad mixture where just one thing just kills it. It's how you say, you notice that it tastes a little off, but you're still not sorry to be drinking it. I mean, none of the aspects are unpalatable enough. I'll stick with the hijinks being relatively painless is the best part about that. But I mean, more than anything, just all the characters are pretty likable here. Like they said, I mean, Rainbow is...
God, terrible.
I mean, actually, I probably shouldn't even start with her. She's a minor. She's not the biggest presence in this episode, but I mean, yeah, the Quibble's new girlfriend is very likable. Patton Oswalt is Quibble. He kind of brings a subtle sort of charisma to his role. I think he's really fun. I honestly don't know why this needed to be Quibble Pants. I mean, I guess he, the whole nerd thing, who is very much into analyzation and not sports. I mean, it's not the worst fit you could have, but I mean, I don't know. Quibble's appeal just didn't exactly come from any of this. I mean, I thought that the best part about him, and this is coming from someone who loved his previous episode and considers it one of my favorite episodes. I mean, probably at very least like top 25, 30, something like that. But I mean, yeah, I thought that what was great about him was his relationship with Rainbow Dash, the kind of friends they were, like how, I mean, if they agreed on something, yeah, best get out of the way because they're gonna have a blast with it till the cows come home. But if they disagree, they're gonna fight about it in the exact same way, that like they're both dead stubborn on convincing the other one that they're right, and they're both like, and yeah, even though they are having none of what the other one is saying, they keep listening just so they can prove the other one wrong. I mean, I thought they were kind of perfect together. And I mean, if you told me you were going to try to put them together, for example, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm sure that's going to be quite a time seeing what comes from that. And now, okay, instead we bring in a new pony that we're going to do a relationship plot with, and I don't know, it's like, it's kind of like a mixed blessing for me, because I mean, both of them are very likable, and you believe this relationship that they have, but I mean, they're, you know, they have to, it was not a thing before, so they have to introduce it and hit the ground running with a compelling story for it. And I mean, it's like, I don't know, I only feel so much investment, I guess, especially since the hijinks thing. It seems like it comes across like a way to delay the, you know, getting to Quibble and the daughter actually working out how they feel about each other. Like they, yeah. Instead, she gets to repeat the scowling at Quibble thing several times in a row, and Quibble gets to fall on his face several times until they finally feel like moving towards the next step, which is at the end. So it's like, I don't know. But I mean, nonetheless, yeah, but it's fun to see Buckball back again. And I mean, using like the Ponyville team now being in the spotlight is like this off to this sort of underground but on the rise sport. I mean, I can buy them becoming a star of it in that light, even though if it comes back again, they'll probably be world famous or something all of a sudden. But but yeah, the bringing in Snips and yeah, having him kind of try to cash in on Snails like that, and just doing Snips things. I mean, like everybody just
very
kind of
friend manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just kind of owns the role that they're given to play, and I mean, I almost wish they'd been given better ones that played off each other better, but I mean, it's like I said, like there's like no one ingredient tastes bad, it's just kind of how they're mixed, so I guess I'll call it a B, for highlight being probably at the end when they finally get to the core of what they wanted to do and how it is a sweet and wholesome and even an idea that some kids could probably use, could probably benefit from. So yeah, solid B grade episode. Although it's kind of odd to hear it comes from Josh Haber, because he is usually a guy with the opposite problem to me. Like he usually mixes his ingredients pretty well. He just doesn't always come up with the best ones. Like I've had the sense that he's just so out of ideas after being asked to helm too much too soon a lot of the time. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see him with the opposite problem. And come to think of it, I guess it's not like unheard of. Like, well, I don't know. But no, I'll stick with that. This is a different sort of an episode and a different sort of approach to see him take. Like he had the crystalling where like everybody just got their own role, and I only really thought that Starlight and Spikes worked all that well, but that was just kind of him trying to break everyone down into their own subplot and just keep it nice and easy that way. So once again, the thing there more than anything just seemed to be that he didn't think of anything that great for them to do. But I don't know. It's different for Josh Haber. I'll stick with that.
Well, I say that's how actually I was thinking when I found out the title, like who wrote it. I was like, this is actually surprisingly feels like a step back, back, but in a good way for Haber, where like a step up from what his recent seasons and more back to like his original works, where it's sort of a safe episode, but like maybe a little slowish, but like an overall like a safe episode.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like a Neil DeSeta or even an Ed Valentine with what Cart Before the Ponies and Applejack's Day Off and What About Discord, I mean, like Haber, I mean, he knows the ABCs of good writing. He's never that clunky or that pointless, but I mean, it seems like he only has so much inspiration to go around. So, which I don't know. Yeah, I guess I mean. Your description of it, though, probably not a bad fit. It's like, okay, he's going out on more of a limb here and trying to mix some ingredients, like a few ingredients that are maybe a little more ambitious, even if, like I said, it's a cocktail shaken but not stirred. He doesn't blend quite right, but
I will say
already, so yeah.
Besides Josh Haber, though, I think this is actually a surprisingly strong Rainbow Dash episode, at least for the past few we've had. Especially in terms of like her characterization, because for once, Rainbow it's been like seasons since like it's a Rainbow Dash episode where Rainbow Dash isn't the problem.
Well, she kind of is, because she keeps trying to push Quibble down pretend you're a great sports pony and convince her. Well,
that was his plan already. She was actually just putting effort into helping it. But in terms of like actually
escalating it, like I don't know.
But
mixed feelings on that, I guess.
I know, but that thing is like overall, but being in terms of a good person or pony in this case, she actually was trying to be a good friend and all this. So I was like, oh, Rainbow Dash ain't really the problem for once, and like she's actually being like a good like character again. Huzzah! It reminds me of her Scootaloo interaction, or better Scootaloo interactions.
Like, oh my god!
I
mean, like this is the Rainbow that you would see from like Hurricane Fluttershy and such. I mean, like that sort of supportive Rainbow Dash, which I don't loathe at all. In fact, I find her to be a very inspirational character when she's like this, instead of her usual brash and cocky self, which is more annoying than a lot of the egotistical characters of the show, which is why the season 6 episode with Quibble Pants was sort of like it was harmony to my ears. So much jabbing.
Fun. I mean, as someone who picked Rainbow Dash she's my favorite character. Like I always saw her as like Toph or someone like that taken to the next level where it's like, okay, yeah, tough, self-confident, all that, but also what makes them tick, like this constant need to build themselves up against other, like, I don't know, I thought they dove into her psyche pretty well, but I mean, hey, I think like a lot of things, I don't even know if I've really zeroed in on her in particular. It seems like they've just she's kind of lost a dimension and fallen into the pot of whatever, along with the other characters, the mediocrity of well, hey, she's the archetype of hates losing and likes to fight about stuff and is stubborn and stuff. So how about an episode about how she and Rarity don't know what's like fashion, sports? Yeah, like that's a Rainbow Dash thing to do, right?
Rainbow Dash things to do, or people who are losing ideas for plots in an ever-expanding writing series like this.
Yeah, but I mean, as someone who loves Rainbow Dashes, like I thought she had by far the best track record through the first 3-4 seasons of everyone. Like I really liked all of her episodes there, and even past that, like heck, we had season 6. She could still churn out a great one with Stranger Than Fanfiction, stuff like that. This time, I kind of thought she got not, well, pushed to the side is the wrong way to phrase it, but I mean, I kind of thought that, like, in the Cult of Personality, she got, blown off, maybe not blown off the stage, shoved to the side of the stage a little bit. I thought Quibble and his girlfriend and such, like, with that in mind, Rainbow was just kind of like, I shall use my awesomeness to save the day, and then, like her key moment, she said she had like 7 more things for Quibble to try, and then before the same conversation is done, she's saying, stop trying to be a sports pony and be yourself, and there's no transition to that. It's not like a revelation to her. It's just, okay, she's trying to help, and then it doesn't work, and then it does, and ta-da, Rainbow Dash. I'm certainly glad that they didn't hammer up in the attempt to steal the show with forced hijinks or something like that. But it just kind of felt like a what do you call it? Not a thankless role, but like a purpose we wanted to serve role. And I had to push that in there because I like me some Rainbow Dash and it's great, but I'll stop now because it wasn't my turn. It wasn't my turn. Yes.
Yep. I really like the episode, but everything that you said as well, I'm happy like they didn't put everything in the hijinks with like, oh, he's so bad at sports. I think like they kept that nice, and I like the new girlfriend for Quibble, and I like the message of this episode. I think it's like one of the more grown-up things that we have so far, and they tackled it really nicely. I think like it was an intention that they left the thing with. I'm not going to forget about that for the last part because it's a sore subject for children that are adopted, or I could imagine it is that I'm not, but yeah, I could just imagine that it would be really hard for people with that. But the math thing with Quibble, I think like that's clever, like putting that on the character because we already knew that he was good at stuff like that. So maybe in the future, as you said, we will see them together, like fighting or battling against them again in Buckball and actually winning maybe because of Quibble's math and her skills in buckballing. So yeah, but him freaking out in the start, that was so clever. That was actually really relatable because like I was just like, yeah, I've been there where I was just like not figuring out what stuff was. Even like I know like the basic things with it was a ball and it was a stuff to put the ball in a goal and stuff like that, but you can get so frustrated, so you're just like going on the deep end and freaking out. So yeah, I definitely have been there before with stuff. Thankfully not that much no more. I think like I took my last culture shock pretty good, right? Second.
Hey, honestly, it came across like you wanted the culture to be so much different than it ended up being.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet you'll be shocked at how flat it is around here.
Yeah, no. Well, like I'm more the other way around with me. Being like, oh, everything is just like going to be so amazing, and of course, like it was. It's just like, so used to everything being so small and flat all of the time, and so Yeah, but I think like it has nice references as well with the what was it, the bug ball arena. It looked like the Rome arena from Rome, or the what is that, the arena we saw when they played football in that second, right? It looked like
you mean the stadium?
round. Yeah, the stadium. It looked like the stadium.
Huh,
Or is
yeah,
it just
yeah,
me?
that's par for the.
Or
That's about par for the course, I'd have to say. Yeah.
yeah, maybe it looks more like the Rome
Colosseum.
arena, just in wood and rebuilt and stuff like that. But I think it was nice that it had like a small museum and all of these details. But yeah, I think it was really good. So enough with the sugar, and night night.
Sweet
Good night.
dreams. I was gonna say though, Rainbow Dash is like, yeah, as far as recent Rainbow Dash episodes, I think I prefer something more like shit. Because, and I know you're gonna love this one, but yeah, a Secrets and Pies, where it's like, yeah, it's not a Rainbow Dash cranked up to, or two-dimensional Rainbow Dash cranked up to 11. Oh, she's such a bad sport. Oh, she's so stubborn. Oh, that Rainbow. More like, yeah, Rainbow trying to handle a problem in a very Rainbow Dash way. Just like, oh yeah, it's easier if I humor you and then just, yeah, not actually tell you that you didn't actually do anything special there for me, but like, yeah, just try her way of coping with when she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to get into the nitty-gritty awkward conversation, to just avoid the whole thing altogether. Like that's how she tried to deal with Pinkie Pie herself at first when she didn't want to hang out, and yeah, something like that. And then having to learn, no, there's a better way to handle it. That you start to drive Pinkie Pie a little bit crazy. I mean, that's more something I could get behind. Something like this, I guess, I mean, I guess I can't even say it's that I mind. It's just, like I said, I felt like Rainbow Dash was just a contributing factor who they allowed to vocalize what the solution would be at the end. I seem to have spoiled the fun here a bit, so.
Yeah, but it's just, I can see, like, this episode, I felt the pacing was a little weird for this episode, and like a little predictable and stuff like. But overall, like, I actually did like this episode. I'd say, like, in terms of your scores, I would say I'll probably say either. I would say an A minus. I would say probably for this episode. Maybe plus, but I would say probably A minus, just because how, in terms of like the plot, I would say it's not there, but like in terms of the character development, like I felt this was good for Rainbow Dash to show her being supportive in a helpful way, which has been a while, and then also to see like the character growth from Quibble, and also to sort of the foster father plot line handled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh God.
My favorite part at the end with the whole Quibble and the daughter actually starting to bond. Well, actually, even more than that, when we get to vocalizing how this daughter feels, they were pretty smart about this. Instead of saying that, like, oh, he's so lame, he's not a sports pony at all. Oh, well, just give him a chance. Like what she said, like, it's not that, okay, he's not a sports pony, ergo, oh, like, it's that she feels like the trying to so hard to impress her by convincing her he's something he's so obviously not. She thought he was she saw him as like a phony trying to take the place of her dad, which was probably a pretty understandable feeling that for a kid who's lost her dad and now is told that she should be accepting this other guy.
It's certainly like a hard situation to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it reminds me of of like in Persona 5 when it comes to like one of your party members like trying to get used to like a new parent since their old parent went up and died, and they weren't around different relatives and such until the anxieties and such took over, and they became a social recluse as a result. But that's more for the extreme bad side of like those sorts of situations.
Sure. And his girlfriend's explanation of why Quibble is someone not to dismiss. Like his friends seem to care about him, which is always a good sign. I mean, that stuff like that is smart writing. It's like not pulling answers out of the cliche 101 box.
You can say that is actually like good advice. Good, like that's one thing is like I said, I was unsure. Like I felt something was off with the performance for like the what was that? Whistle Breeze or the kids. The kid's voice acting, if I was a little off, maybe it was how it was edited in, the sound editing. But like in terms of everything, the mother, his love interest, I felt all of her writing and voice acting was very well, and like it was very real. Like that, like you're bringing up there with the, it's like like his friends seem to like him much. Yeah, that's sort of true. Like because one of the, I remember reading like warning signs for dating like things. One of the things they often bring up the concept is like who they're hanging out with. Like are the people they're hanging out with good people? Do they enjoy their company and sort of like how that's like you have to sort of read those things. And yeah, this is actually like she could say I was like, oh yeah, her friends are good and my good ponies in this case, and also they really care about him, which shows they value him. So that is actually a good sign, sort of thing.
Yeah. Clear sky and the daughter is wind sprint. So looked that up. But yeah. No, it's like more than anything, it's just like like I said, the way they put it together for me is like, I mean, this is better than the last episode for sure. But stuff like hey, let's teach Quibble to play sports. Oh, should it like it's not enough to just say that it's not his thing, he's not particularly good at it. Like, no, he needs to be that bad at it. Oh my god, he can't lift a buck. He tries to run as fast as he can and moves 2 inches. Oh my wow, he's that bad. Like, hijinks. I mean, yeah, that's, I don't know, that not only is it not worth much on its own, but it replaces what would be a lot more interesting if they actually got somewhere with the addressing like how they feel having these characters actually have to interact off each other and get somewhere, even if it's somewhere worse, where like, okay, what's not working? Why is it not working? How does that affect everybody? Like, instead, it's like hijinks, and then one round of why the hijinks don't work, and the hijink behavior is a bad idea. So, and then what the solution would be. That's, I mean, it's a formula that the show has pulled out of the closet a few times. I think my least favorite example is the horseplay with Celestia, but I mean, I don't know. I think there's better writing, better ways to do it. But I mean, if you want to hamstring yourself a bit with a formula as it goes, you came up with some pretty good stuff to do in here.
Yeah, I want to give like my final thoughts quickly before heading out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, this episode, even though I was distracted for bits, I found it to be quite entertaining. Maybe not like as like it's probably like in the middle right now for like season 9 episodes, but I really did enjoy like the interactions. Everyone was kind of like on point for like their roles in the episode, like second has described them as. And I really do enjoy like these sort of like interesting looks into like characters, like developing into more complex relationships with like for like a kid show premise, you know? It's like so amazingly interesting to see that for like Quibble's new budding like family. And it's kind of sad for like the Rainbow Quibble shippers, but sometimes you're gonna have to learn to let go for like a golden ship like that.
Well, there's one thing you need to learn about Phantoms though is they will never let go.
They'll never.
Possibly.
Well, I guess let's summarize all our closing thoughts since everyone's tired and leaving out.
Well,
Yeah, I'll say later.
thought I kind of already did there, but
all right.
I mean, I've probably gone on enough about that. But so that leaves DC then, or did you?
I already gave my thoughts before. Like I said, I felt this was an A- episode. Overall, like good, but could have been tightened up a little bit, or maybe like it felt like some of the elements were a little kiddish, while other ones weren't. So I feel like it could just be. I felt this could have been a great episode. It just needed to be a little bit more polished, but the overall package was good. And yeah, for a Rainbow Dash episode, it was a pretty big step up from the last few seasons.
Still like Secrets and Pies a lot, and what's it? Quibble's last episode actually stranger than fan fiction, but
to be fair, with Secrets and Pies, Rainbow Dash wasn't the problem; it was Pinkie Pie. So
Pinkie Pie, okay, I'm not gonna get into that again, but the Pinkie Pie fantasies, the Pinkie Pie obsession.
No, I mean, like in terms of like who was the like antagonistic force, it was not Rainbow Dash in that time. So that's what I was just trying to say. It was like very much Pinkie Pie was the problem in that episode. Entertaining, yes, but like she was the problem.
Hey, fair enough. But
right.
that was. But yeah, as for this one, just like I said, I'll definitely give it to anyone who says that this episode had pretty strong ingredients. Yeah, the characters, the theme it took on, the not the hijinks. That particular ingredient was not that's great for me. But yeah, more so than that, I just had some great materials. Just didn't think they came together well enough to say it was more than a decent episode. But I think we can all agree, if anyone was left, that it is not a GM Barrow episode, at least.
Yeah. And it was actually not bad for a Josh Haber episode, at least for the past few seasons.
True that.
All right, I guess they'll see you next time. Everyone else aren't left.
Second in DC, signing out.